Right, eventually pick up my mic.
Hello and welcome, you join me, ADG, and here we are for the final round, round 12 of Next Gen's team versus team. So the teams are Next Gen Racing, MRC, SIMFX and P1 involved in this racing. And it's a Group 3 race for the finale, as always, and it's around Spa-Francorchamps. And it's a 1 hour endurance race tonight, so we've had a lot of sprint races during this championship, but this time round we're into a long endurance, so should be quite interesting. We've got a couple of new guys in the lobby and quite a full lobby as well, so good to see. Should be an interesting one with a couple of new guys joining us. So yeah, I'm going to use this little opportunity. I'll get my wheel turned on. This little opportunity before the race, well, before qualifying starts, to just jump on track, hopefully find a little bit of a gap where I'm not going to disturb anyone's practice, and show you a lap, basically. If you're not familiar with this track, that is. If you are, then you'll just see a lap that you're very familiar with. So, go on the soft tyre. The tyre choice in this championship is only soft to hard. There's no super soft used, so that keeps it slightly interesting as well. No one's really got ultimate pace on the super soft. So am I going to come out in traffic? I hope not. We'll quickly get a lap in, show you the track before we get underway for the 1 hour race. Show you the struggles that are ahead of people. I'll let these guys go, and then we'll head down into our route for the first time. So, very famous corner, a Rouge at Spa, and then over the top, which is Radion. Going a little bit wide with understeer through there, but flat out all the way nevertheless. Braking roughly where the curb starts on the left hand side. Just reminding myself how heavy this AMG feels compared to what I've been driving recently. I was in the Super Formulas last night. We've been doing quite a bit of rallying today. Hesitant corners, try and pull the front end through. Try and carry speed through there, lost the back end a little bit, so scrubbed a bit of time off. And down a gear, if not two through here, just trying to hook up that apex nice and early so you don't go wide on the exit, exactly what I've just done. So I didn't quite get it turned into the apex properly, and that's a massive potential for a mistake. Exactly what I've just done there could happen in the race from a couple of the drivers, because it's so easy to do. Same through here, so if you're not careful through this exit as well, you can go a little bit too wide and end up going into the gravel, as I nearly demonstrated there. Similarly through here, if you get on that exit strip a bit too much, excuse me, go over the AstroTurf on the left hand side, it's really hard to get it back on track. So there's loads of little spots on this track where you can have little issues where it doesn't seem like you've had a massive moment, but you can all of a sudden see yourself flying off with understeer because of the AstroTurf surrounding the track around a lot of the corners, and especially the corner exits. So there we go, there's a lap of Spa. I'll go through, since I came out of the pits I didn't cover the first corner. So La Source hairpin, braking at roughly the 100 marker, down 3 gears into first gear in this car. Oh, bit of contact as he comes back onto the track like a madman. And there we go, through the last corner. There we go, that's a lap done from me, to give you some idea of what the guys are up against whilst they're racing away. Obviously you'll see it from their point of view as well whilst we're doing it, but what's that? Also from my side, fancy Chris to race with you, I won't be in this season. Nice little message there from Joe. I think he might have the wrong person. I ain't done the livery for him, but I'll take it anyway. No problem. Yeah. I don't know what you're on about, but yeah, yeah. No worries. Don't worry about it. Anytime, mate. Oh, I've entered again. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I'm so used to racing, I automatically press enter rather than spectate. Oh, Sean, facing the wrong way. Luckily, we're just waiting for qualifying to start, so it's no big deal. Certainly won't want to be doing that whilst qualifying's underway, though. So, Hydromatic Panic, one of our new guys, doing well in practice so far. Got GT Gavin 2 as well, another new guy that's joined us tonight. Seems a bit odd that they're joining us for the final round, but I'm not going to complain. The more the merrier. GTRT as well, Stu Wheels by the look of it. I'll skip down to him so you can see. Sturwell? Oh, God knows, I hate people who have strange names. I'm terrible at pronunciation, even when it's simple. Even if it were John, I'd pronounce it wrong. So yeah, we'll keep with GT, just GT for him. There's no other GTs to get confused with. And they're the new guys joining us. Everyone else is pretty familiar face. Graham Reeds, Joe Winner, Jambu at the back, Pilgrim Paddy, Sean, Danzo. So they're all familiar names. Cutler isn't yet involved, but he will be in a minute. Our host and been joining us all season long and hosting all season long. Need to just have a quick sip of a drink before we get underway with qualifying. Where's my phone as well? Where have I put my phone? I had my phone up, so feel free to send me a message. Let me know that I'm terrible at this. You're not telling me anything I don't know if you do that though, so do bear that in mind. But yeah, hopefully we'll have a good, entertaining race to watch, and I'll do my best to make it as entertaining as possible. Oh, hello. Hydromatic Panic. Having a little bit of a panic, firing himself off. Not in the rude way. There's so many innuendos. I always think that. There's loads of things to say if you were, if Julian Clary were here, innuendo master. So if you just joined, thank you very much. Just waiting for qualifying to start. Feel free to hit that like button. Obviously, if you don't like it, don't bother. But so looking for a strong finish from pretty much everyone from the regular field. But it'll be interesting from my point of view, following this season all the way through, seeing what happens with these random names chucked in the grid as well. So will it mix up the order? Will any of them be quick enough to take pole position, for example, and so on and so on. So should make it a bit of a different one for me to watch, if nothing else. And interesting for the guys that are 12 rounds into this championship. So this racing is brought to you by Next Gen Racing, hosted by Cutler from Next Gen Racing, who involves MRC, P1, and what's the other one? SIMFX drivers. It's open to all. One of the rare championships it is. Oh, and we're aware. So yeah, it's sponsored is this as well by Team Oliver Racing, which is a truck racing outfit. Check them out on Facebook. Go by TOR as well, Tor. Oh, missing everyone as they leave the pits. Who's managed to jump out first? Looks like Graham's managed to get the jump on everyone. Why is it not showing me anyone? Where are they? Yeah, can you show me some cars, please? I've seen the straight before. Oh, there's a guy going backwards for some reason down the pit lane, so there's a bit of lag going on. What the hell's going on here? I can't see anyone. What are you doing to me? It's hard to commentate when you can't see anyone. Right, I guess I'll jump out and then back in. Will that work? Nope. If I jump on board, it looks like we can see people, but not from that exterior camera for some reason. Let's try again. Nope. So it's a bit of a problem for a few people in the pits by the look of it, struggling to get out, and it's caused by lag is that, so they might not actually manage to get out and get qualifying. Anyway, terrible start to the coverage of qualifying, so I'll try and give you some kind of perspective of what's going on. Looks like Cutler is up in... Oh no, he's not. Who's the furthest round? It is Graham Reeds that managed to jump everyone out of the pit. So Graham, furthest round on his outlap. I've completely missed what's gone on in the opening little bit there because of that. Graham having a little bit of a moment on his own, not sure what's going on. Hydromatic panic coming up behind. Just revving the hell out of it, trying to lose a bit of fuel in first gear. Oh, it looks like we're all restarting. Yep. Here we go. We can't have a week without a restart. It's becoming a tradition. So we'll go again by the look of it with a refreshed qualifying. 15-minute qualifying session, if I haven't mentioned already. And yeah, normally goes pretty well because the fuel wears on. So, the fuel depletion is on. So. Obviously the faster times keep coming, so as qualifying goes on, people start coming into the pits getting fresh tyres on as they've burnt a bit of fuel off, and then we see some really quick laps towards the end. It's just down to those last couple of laps really to get that ultimate time in for qualifying. Right, so we're away again by the look of it. See anyone this time? Yeah. Graham's the only one that's got out so far. And Dan's out. So watch through the... I'm not sure what's going on here. Jambu, the championship leader and winner already, has left. I'm not quite sure what's going on, if it's a connection problem or what, but it's out of my hands, so there's not a lot I can do about it either way. And Sean's left as well, so it's looking a bit odd, is this one already? Obviously some kind of issue. Anyway, on with the driving now. On board with Graham Reeds for look back. Got a big gap behind him, so no one taking Graham's slipstream. Get through, give everyone a quick glance before you start seeing the fast laps coming in. Let's have a look at the liveries of these new guys as well. I've skipped past two of them already, but we'll check them out as we go. I'll go back and have a look. Also, GT is in the BMW Z4 by the look of it, even though it's incredibly dark and hard to see. GT Gavin, oh there is two GTs. So Gavin, and we'll have GT for the other one, and then we'll have Gavin for this guy. Gavin is in the AMG Mercedes. Hydromatics in the BMW M3. So they're the three new guys joining us tonight in their car choice for the one round only. Oh, just giving way to Gavin there. Looking for the slipstream probably, but he's dropped off the back a little bit in his attempt to do that. These guys are just getting on with qualifying, they're not messing about looking for slipstreams at all, they're just on with it already, in their own little space and heading towards the start of the fast laps now. Can we skip up the camera angles? We can finally. Oh, Cutler's already coming into the pits for some reason. Not quite sure why. We've got a little bit of close action going on, so we're in qualifying with Danzo and Pilgrim Paddock. Dan's obviously looking for the slipstream. We've got GTR right in front of them as well, just pulling to one side to let them through. Rightfully so if he's on his outlap as well. So Danzo is actually looking for an overtake down into here. Does he get it done? No, he gets it done nicely on the brakes. No big dramas in the end. Good work from Danzo. Looked like it was going to be a bit of a hairy moment that, but did a good job. So we've got to keep an eye out for Jambu and whether he joins the room again, because Jambu is incredibly quick, normally puts it right up there in qualifying. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens if it doesn't rejoin and he ends up starting towards the back, or if he starts the race at all. I'm not going to tear away from watching these two at the moment, because quite interesting. There's slipstreaming in qualifying, and then there's getting really quite close. Each to their own though, everyone's entitled to use their own technique, whatever they prefer. Pilgrim Paddy going off track, oh, managed to get it back on but just lost it as he came back over the curb to get it back on track. Kicked out the rear end and he's picked up damage from that, so he'll have to pit now, and he's lost his first flying lap. He will, on the other hand, be able to put some fresh tyres on that, repair the car, and he's, if nothing else, he's lost a bit of fuel, so he'll be able to go out and certainly put in another effort. Oh, I haven't got the chat up. Why have I not might have done that? Oh, no one's written anything anyway. Like I said earlier, feel free to write me a comment if supporting any particular driver or whatever you would like to tell me. So Joe Winner has got the provisional pole. Danzo and Graham Reed's battling now. So Danzo's odd technique for qualifying, but it's got him into second place so far. So that close, following behind and actually battling his way through some of the corners hasn't hindered him so far in his first qualifying lap. Anyway, we'll jump on board with Joe Winners. He's set our quickest time so far of a 2:17.014, which is a nice number, nearly a 2:17 dead. We'll quickly skip through as well and see what else is going on. Danzo on the grass now, so Danzo's picked up damage and he's binned it. Not good for his qualifying, but luckily it's not during the 1 hour endurance race that's about to follow this. That would be a big drama in the race, and especially if you're at the beginning of the lap, because Spa's not a particularly small track. So if you pick up some kind of damage at the beginning of the lap, then you've got to carry it all the way through the lap until you get to the pits, obviously, and you can repair the car. So the later in the lap, if you're going to pick up damage, I always say do it right next to the pit entry, because then at least you can pull straight in and it's not a massive issue. Still a big issue because you don't want to do it ever, but anyway, hopefully we won't see too much of that during the race, but it seems to be a problem so far in qualifying for 1 or 2. Purcell, not quite sure what's going on with Purcell, normally quite high up in qualifying, so I expect to see a faster time from him. He's only just on his outlap actually, so give him credit. We'll see what kind of time he can put in a minute. Danzo's sat in the pits properly now, so just looks like he's more or less given up on the session. GT getting ready for a pit stop. So we're halfway through this qualifying session now, so everyone looking roughly to get a pit sometime around now or the next lap. Cutler getting it wrong on the exit, just planting the throttle too enthusiastically and plants it in the wall. Ends up resetting to the pits himself. So what's happened there? Keeps doing strange things to me tonight. Hydromatic 11 seconds down, so there's no real relative times apart from Joe Winner and GT Gavin and Sean at the moment, really. And Sean's quite a way off. So there's only a couple of guys that have actually managed to put a lap in, even though we're more than halfway through. I guess it doesn't matter too much so long as they actually get that final lap in with the low fuel and the fresh tyres. That's the one that actually really counts, but it's always nice to get an early banker lap in to rely on, just in case it does all go wrong. So there'll be a bit of pressure towards the end of this qualifying now for a few of the guys. Because of that, I'm not really putting in a banker lap early on. So GT Gavin, one of our debuters, is that such a word, tonight, in second position in qualifying, so good job. Do expect to see the likes of Purzel jump a bit higher up and Jambu if it does rejoin. I would like to see Jambu rejoin, because he's had a really good season. It'd be a real shame to miss the last race, even though he has already won the championship. But it'd still be a shame if he won the last race. Not won, wrong thing to say. If he didn't turn up, but he was here earlier as well. That's what's quizzing me. We'll keep an eye on GT, watch a bit of his driving, see how he goes in the BMW Z4. We'll get some kind of relative idea. Will GT in 6th position at the moment with Joe Winner behind him, just by the fact that he can judge it whether Joe's catching him or not and whether he's on a good lap. Joe being in first place. Joe just losing it over the curb of the La Source hairpin there though, on the exit. Just having a moment to gather up and probably lost a little bit of time, so might have chucked away the chance to improve this time round. I'm sure if he keeps it neat and tidy he'll be somewhere near. Oh, I asked a couple of the messages and then I read it. Sorry. Steve Hills, good luck Sean. Sean always seems to have a little supporter in here, so it's good to see. It's nice that people join for that reason as well. Cheer on the friends. Why not? Don't quite know who to jump to. There's not a great deal going on. Since you mentioned Sean, we'll give him a bit of coverage. I haven't really watched him so far. Currently in 3rd position as well, so let's see if he's on a lap to improve. Done 2 consistent times as well of 2:20.2 being his fastest, and lap 2 was a 2:20.6, so only 0.4 of a second in those laps, so nice and consistent. Pretty good going. Comes through the last corner, drops down into 4th now, just as Purzel gets a fast lap in eventually. Sean finishing that lap and improving, but only improving slightly, so he's not jumped up above Purzel. But he'll now struggle to come round, get into the pits and get another lap in, so I hope he hasn't lost out on that final lap by finishing that lap just then. Saying that, it was an improvement, so it probably was the right thing to do. It's hard to tell when you sat here. It's a different thing altogether when you're racing and you're qualifying. Look at this for a slipstream from GT, right on the back of Graham Reed's. Got Corvette, I think it is. I can never. Yeah, is it? Oh, Joe Winner again. So he better sort that out before the race start. He's done that twice now in qualifying. Not to try and pick up on people's mistakes too much, but can't help but notice it. He keeps losing it through the exit of the first corner. Don't know whether he's going a little bit too quick into there or just trying to get on the power that little bit too early and losing the rear end. Purzel is purple, so let's see if he can make an improvement now and jump up further up the board. So the order has changed a little bit. We've got Joe Winner in first, GT Gavin in second, GTRT in third, Purzel in fourth now, Cutler in fifth, Graham Reed's in sixth, seventh is Hydromatic Panic. Where's Sean gone? Pilgrim Paddy is in eighth. Sean's dived into the pits for some reason, so he's now in ninth, despite the fact that he was in third, so I'm not sure what's going on there. And NGR Danzo, I think, is just waiting for the race to start now. So I'll try and keep some kind of eye on it as everyone comes over the line for the final laps in a minute. GT coming through Rouge. Over the top of the Radion, down the long straight. So slipstreaming in qualifying, I always think it's a bit of a dangerous one. I've only just really noticed Joe Winner's livery. I've seen it, but I've not really picked up on exactly what it says. It's a little thank you to me. Oh, that's nice, nice little touching thing for him to do. No one's ever done all like that. Nice. Thank you very much, Joe. Cool. I might have to steal that livery off him. Just put me off a little bit, is that? Yeah, so I'm not sure what Sean is doing. Hopefully, if he comes out now, gets round the first timing line, he will regain that time that he put in earlier. So he should jump up the order again if he gets round. There isn't much time left though. Hopefully he manages to do it. Oh, Hydromatic Panic's got damage. So he's had a big off somewhere. Put it into the barriers. I don't know why Pilgrim Graham Reed's is on medium tyres. He's going to struggle to get the fastest time on mediums. Suppose they do start the race on the same tyre. No, actually saying that, not necessarily so. Don't know why I said that. Not a lot going on. Purzel's taken first now. Knocked Joe Winner down by 3.5 tenths of a second. So Purzel finally coming good in the end once he's run off a little bit of fuel. I knew he was sandbagging a little bit at the beginning, or there was some kind of issue for him to get going, because it seemed like a long time till he got a time in, but he's got there in the end. So GT Gavin out qualifying Cutler, and as well at the moment anyway, and at the same time, same as GTRT. So the race is about to start. Qualifying should have finished really. Cutler's got damage, so hopefully all this damage isn't a sign of things to come in the race. I hope it's a good clean race, because Spa lends itself to really good racing if the pack is able to stay together. So yeah, hopefully we'll have a good race and we'll be away in a minute or two. I don't really get why qualifying's still going on, because it gives people the chance to actually finish off the laps if they're still on one, but it's cheating in a way, because qualifying should have finished. There we go, it's been called now, qualifying over. And here we go, 10 seconds till we get underway. Looking forward to this one. Hopefully we have a good race. It's always unpredictable whether it'll go well or not. Obviously that's the nature of racing, that's why I kind of love it, but hopefully everyone gets away quite well. It's a tricky first corner to get through, all bunched up together, so it looks like we're missing third place qualifier there. So there's someone missing off the grid spot, and that's probably because of Sean dropping out and in 9th now, so I dare say that would have been possibly Sean's spot. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, enough about that. The lights are on, revs are rising, and we're away. Oh, what's happened to Purzel? Purzel's not got off the line. Oh no, we're into restart territory already. Joe Winner getting away nicely, but I don't know quite what's happened behind. It's as though everyone's fallen asleep between the end of qualifying and the race there. So it looks like a restart. What the hell is going on for Purzel? Yep, we're on to a restart. So it looks like something's happened there, something with the actual game, and those guys haven't actually been able to get away. I can't imagine why they'd be sat there otherwise. So hopefully it won't take too long and we'll get to go again. I think it will take a minute or two for the grid order to be now set manually. But other than that, it shouldn't take too long. So please do bear with me. I almost suggested something really stupid then. I nearly said I'll sing you a song, but I won't. Launch my singing career. So it looks like people are still spinning around in the pits without looking just on the mini-map there very properly. And some people seem absolutely fine. For example, Graham. And others suffering massively. Sean's just rejoined, hopefully that'll sort it out. Purcell's got the same thing there, and he was another one that was sat on the grid, so I think Purcell will have to leave if he's got any chance of sorting it out. Oh, there's all sorts of issues. They don't get this in Formula 1. Well, I suppose they do sometimes when it ends up raining torrentially and there's all sorts of red flags and this, that and the other going on. I just don't have a wealth of replays and videos to show you. I've just got to waffle my way through it, which is quite difficult at times, I'll be honest. Well, without sounding like an absolute idiot anyway. And again, we've got a crazy marshal waving his green flag away, don't know what's going on. No mate, we're waiting for the restart. Well, I will take this opportunity to have a quick little sip of my drink. Looks like Sean's sorted now, that's good. I think Purcell still needs to leave, otherwise I think it's just going to happen to him again on the start. And he does have pole position as well, so everyone's could cause all sorts of carnage, even if everyone else manages to get away. If Purcell doesn't, then he's just sat there in front of everyone else, ready to be hit. And there's damage on as well, so it could ruin a few races if people don't manage to avoid him. Let's see what happens. Another start about to happen. I'm fearing that we're going to have another one after this as well though, because I don't think Purcell will get away here. I think the same thing will happen again. I think Sean will get away this time. Let's have a look though, see what happens. We never know, it is GT Sport. Revs are rising, waiting for the lights, and there they go, we're away, and there we go. The suspected Purcell won't move, and there we go, and it's caused chaos behind. What a surprise. There we go, another restart by the look of it. Everyone else getting through the first corner quite neatly. I'll carry on as though it's not going to restart, because I don't know if it will do. Joe Winner in first, managed to get away cleanly. And then the train follows with GTR behind him. NGR Cutler up into third, so a good start from Cutler. GTR-T in fourth, Pilgrim Paddy in fifth, as they all come up Eau Rouge for the first time and over Radion. Danzo challenging Hydromatic for sixth place, sorry. Got a bit confused. Sean finally getting away. Looks like just coming through the final hairpin, the first hairpin even. First corner. So we are restarting again. Perzel needs to leave. I need to write a message here because it doesn't seem to be clicking with anyone else. I thought it was pretty obvious. It's just going to do the same thing again if he doesn't. It might not even work if he exits, but it's got a chance of solving the problem at least. Otherwise we're just going to have about 10 restarts here. Is Gavin's pop okay? That's the point. These new guys might not quite realise the pop rules. I haven't even considered that. Because it's not, the bop's not actually on, it's set by the host. For the individual cars, there's a big chart somewhere that everyone can look at to get the right bop settings. I don't even know how you checked, I'm quite interested in how you checked. Anyway, getting really boring now. Come on, let's get the race underway. It's going to be a 1 hour race when we actually get going, so it's 9 o'clock now. It'd be nice if it got started right now. Jambu's left the room again. So Jambu, I didn't even see him rejoin, but he did do, turns out. And now he's left again. What the hell is going on in this lobby? It always seems to happen. It's so random. Every other lobby seems to go pretty smoothly, but this just doesn't. Oh, that's good. If Jambu manages to get in the race, even if he starts at the back, which he will do because he hasn't got a qualifying time in, but that'll be good. It'll be good to keep an eye on Jambu as well because he's one of the quicker guys out there, so he'll be coming through the field no doubt, and starting right at the back, it'll be good to watch him. So we'll try and keep an eye on that as we go. Hello and welcome if you've just joined. Well, not so long ago. We're about to get the race underway, hopefully, for the 1 hour endurance race hosted by Next Gen Racing around Spa, associated with Team Oliver Racing, Excite Energy Drinks and David Appleby Engineering. There you go, that rolls off the tongue now on round 12. Everyone getting that little bit more practice in before we get away again. Looks like the bop's been sorted out as well. It was a little bit too much, so a good spot there from whoever it was. A little bit of action to watch before we get underway. Sean following one of our new guys. I'm not familiar with the names just quite yet. It's Gavin this time round. No prizes for guessing where Sean's from. Hey. How many have we actually got in now? So we've got 10 people in the lobby now. We've actually got some late joiners as well. Makes for some better numbers in the end of the day, even though they might be starting towards the back and might not have been involved in qualifying. So I'm guessing we're waiting for Cutler just to set the order. Sean driving through GT's ghosted car there. Always makes it a lot easier to overtake when you can drive through the car instead of having to go around. So here we go. Hopefully this is the final start of the season. Please be. So, for the third time, we wait for the lights, the revs rise. And we're away. I didn't even say it right, but you know what I mean. Purcell gets away this time, now he's restarted, exited and rejoined. Joe Winner in second, just about getting through in front of everyone behind. Jambu side by side already, up into, where's Jambu third? Jambu started at the back. How the hell has he managed that one? What a start from Jambu. The AMG Mercedes is great off the start, but that's unbelievable. Great work from Jambu. Cutler in fifth. Oh, GTR going a little bit wide over the top of Radion. Picked up a penalty because of that as well, half-second penalty. I was watching to see if it came. Everyone getting through quite nicely, following in a long train. Hydromatic right at the back, following Danzo. Danzo going off a little bit deep on the in the braking zone through the chicane. Gets it wrong, drops into 10th. Unfortunate there for Danzo straight away, making that mistake. Oh, side by side with Jambu and GT. Let's keep an eye on this action for third position. Already heating up between these two. See everyone else coming through behind as well. Got Cutler leading away in fifth from GTR, one of the new guys as well, so turns out these new guys are quite quick and they're towards the top of the leaderboard already. So we should see some good racing from these guys now. Everyone looking to just settle in, still on lap 1. It's a 1 hour endurance race, so don't expect to see any stupid, what's the word? Very optimistic moves, let's put it that way. There's plenty of time to make moves in a race like this, although the first couple of laps are obviously very beneficial to trying to make a few positions up. You've got to make sure in a race like this you don't pick up damage. As soon as you've got damage, you've got a ruined race basically, and you drop into the back. Jambu getting hustled from behind by GT Gavin. Cutler in fifth, similar from GTR. Sean in 7th. Got away well. Graham Reed's following him in 8th. Hydromatic past Danzo, but Danzo making the move through La Source for the second time. Has he got past? Where is it? But Danzo's made the move stick and heads up Eau Rouge in 9th position. Oh, we've got GT Gavin side by side with Jambu, looking for an opportunity down the inside. Can he get it done? Yes, nice work. Gets it done cleanly as well. That's the most important thing in a way. Like I say, in a race like this, you do not want to be picking up damage with contact, so you need to plan your overtakes almost and not just chuck it up the inside willy-nilly. I love a good willy-nilly. Whilst we're at it, where's Gordon Bennett gone? No one uses Gordon Bennett anymore. Anyway, Purcell in first, leads away from Joe Winner in second. Oh, Purcell gets it wide on the curb though on the exit. Oh, big spin. 360s it into the barriers. That just lets Joe Winner pull through into first. GT Gavin now up into second, Jambu in third. Oh, big moment there for Purcell. So he's going to have damage from that, and he's going to have to come into the pits. And he's dropped right down into 7th as he gets going again. Where's all the information out? I'll leave for a second because don't give me everything otherwise. There we go. So let's have a quick look at Purcell. He's picked up, oh, it's not the worst damage in the world, but he's got damage from that. I thought it'd be worse actually. So that's a bad one at the start of the race for Purcell. Skip through, no one else has picked up damage. It's good clean stuff so far from everyone else. Just a moment on the curb, easily done. And as we see there, it's already claimed our first victim of Spa. Oh, side by side, Jambu and GT Gavin already having a great race, and we're only 3 laps in. We'll go on board with Gavin as he chases Jambu down. Although these guys might be having great fun, they have got to think about the fuel and the tyre wear as well. So battling away too much will be hurting them in the end. Sparks flying from the AMG in front as it bottoms out in the middle of Eau Rouge. Is he going to go for it? GT Gavin forced to the outside with Jambu going defensive. But it is a chicane, so if you manage to hang it around the outside, didn't manage it this time round, but it is a possibility if you manage to hang it around the outside through the first bit to get the inside for the second bit. Hydromatic leaving the lobby now, not quite sure what's gone on there, but feeling that this race isn't for him. So good battling going on, but Jambu's just about pulled a car length or two's gap now. He's up to half a second and just pulls a little bit more through that corner as well. No slipstream for Jambu though, unless he manages to catch Joe, so he'll have to try his best to try get some fast laps in towards this beginning section of the race and try and catch Joe, get that slipstream which will help him out on fuel. Oh, we've gone board with Cutler as he spins it. So people just going a little bit wide on the exits, and as soon as you do that, it unsettles the car quite a lot in these Group 3 cars, and that can be enough to bin it basically. So Cutler picking up engine damage, front aero damage, front suspension damage, so he needs to pit now. That's a bad one for Cutler. Didn't seem like it was a massive mistake, but it just bit him and just chucked him off really, straight into the barriers. Danzo takes 6th position now as he makes good of the wounded Cutler. So GT Gavin jumping back to this battle at the front, dropping off a little bit from Jambu. Now he's got in front and managed to gain a slight gap. He's pulling away, and like I suspected, he's catching up to Joe Winner now. Looking at the gap, it's 3 seconds, but we'll keep an eye on that. It's actually coming down as we speak. See what else is going on. A few people dropping back in this race. It started quite high up, so makes the order slightly different. Oh, the sparks! It's good watching the cars in front through Eau Rouge. Sean in a very respectable 5th now. Great work from Sean to say he started in 9th, I believe. Bit of a gap developing between everyone here, so not the most exciting action for the time being, but hopefully that'll cure itself with the pit stops and everything that's to come in this race. So up front, we've got Danzo off the track. Is Graham managing? Nope, Graham's not managed to get through. Thought Graham was going to make that work then and get a position, but turns out he was a little bit further back than I thought. Danzo going wide again, and he's started ghosting for some reason. So it looks like Danzo's got some kind of issue going on. Got quite a lot of tyre wear, but we are on Spa. It is corner after corner. It's relentless. There's a few long straights to be able to relax on, but other than that, it's pretty hard on the tyres. Sean's doing pretty well with his tyres. So we'll jump back to this battle. I think GT Gavin's taken that a little bit too much out of his tyres in that opening couple of laps. compared to a couple of the guys behind anyway. He's suffering a little bit more already. Doesn't make a huge difference at this point, but obviously tyre wear never gets any better, so it's only a sign of things to come. Oh, Jambu nearly making a mistake on that exit. So everyone having the little moments through that last corner. It is a tricky little chicane to get yourself through. It's very slow and clumsy. Depending on how you set up the car, it can be first, second gear through there, and you want to plant the throttle as early as possible, but because you're coming over a little bit of a crest as you come through that very last part of the final chicane, it's really easy to unsettle the back of the car, just because you start putting the power down as your front wheels go over it and you've kind of got it turned in, but then your rear wheels go over the crest and lose that little bit of traction and the back end wants to just skip out on you all of a sudden. So you've really got to be kind of patient through there, and that's what we're seeing from people. They're just being that little bit too aggressive on the throttle and they're losing that little bit, but it can be absolutely detrimental, as we've seen already. Getting too much on the curb anyway. Ooh, losing the back end into there, GT Gavin. Let's see what everyone else is up to. Sean putting in some very respectable times and pretty consistent at that, with two 17s in a row. Did I just say Sean? Joe Winner. I'm sure I just said Sean. Joe Winner, I don't know why I said Sean. Joe Winner doing that, should I say. Jambo with his penalty that he's just got by the look of it, of 0.9 of a second, needs to try and run that off at some point. So Sean has now got Herzl behind him with his newly repaired car. I wonder why we're going to the inside then. So he's got Danzo right behind him as well. I didn't quite realise. Great commentator that I am. Danzo losing him through that little section there. Herzl's away there. R8 versus BMW, and the R8's winning out this time round. Come on, Sean. Sean had his first podium last week in this championship, and I was really happy to see him do it. It was really good. So I'm wishing him on for another good result this week. Not a great deal of close action to commentate on, I'll be honest, but watch everyone go around nice and cleanly at the moment. Try and catch the action when it does evolve. Danzo caught up again in the slipstream, but then looks like he got a little bit wrong on the brakes and he's dropped back again through those couple of corners. So interesting yo-yo kind of race going on between these two on this lap in particular anyway. Really need a drink again. End up talking so much, I don't talk this much in real life. What's this we have here? We have GTRT catching the back of Gavin. He's not that far off, only 1.7 seconds behind, so if he gets a little bit closer, and especially towards the end of the lap, ready for the start of the next lap, and down the long straight into a rouge, then you can particularly look for that slipstream then. Don't know what I'm trying to say sometimes. You can look for that slipstream then, and and get the overtake done. Oh, pit stop from Jambu. So Jambu going a little bit earlier than everyone else. Decided his tyres are a little bit too far gone. And he's just going to start losing time from now on. So no doubt that's what he's for. He dived in. So a lot earlier than most people have chosen to go. But it is a 1 hour race, so the strategy can completely change mid-race. There can be an incident, there can be back markers that you've got to get past. There's all sorts that goes on because of a long race like this and the pit stops and the different strategies from everyone. Sean up into 4th now, with Jambu not far behind him after that pit stop, so Sean will be losing time to Jambu, I dare say, just because Jambu's on the fresher tyre now. He's got a 2-second gap to Sean to close in. Still got his penalty though. He's run it off a little bit, but a couple of penalties being picked up in this race from a few people. So Sean is getting caught rather quickly, half a second disappeared out of him there through that section. It's down to a second now. It's inevitable that it's going to happen when the tyre difference is so. Sean will be feeling that pressure now. Can't help but notice that someone's closing in. See what happens. He's round the back of him now. Jambu will be looking to get through this fast section. Looking for the slipstream. Sean holding the inside nicely, not giving Jambu any space to cut to the inside, but just runs it a little bit wide on the exit. Does Sean? He's still got the inside there. Nice braking, both of them nice and steady into there. Oh! Sean actually went a little bit deep for his intentions there. He was actually wanting to pit, so he did outbrake himself a little bit for what he wanted to do, but looked like he got through there quite nicely otherwise. Good little battle. So our current leader is GTRT. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his last name, but he's one of our new guys, so good racing from him. He's got an 8.3 second lead at the moment from Jambu behind in second position, so really good job from one of our new guys. Does need to pit though, so he's one of our few that haven't pitted now. You can see the time just dropping instantly as soon as someone's come out on the fresh tyres and they're following someone on the worn tyres in front. The difference is just unbelievable. It's really does cost you a lot of time running around on those worn tyres, especially when they've just gone over the limit that little bit and you're really struggling to get the car turned in all of a sudden. So Purcell well and truly back into this race on a little bit of a different strategy to everyone else because of the damage he picked up early on. So he's got slightly different tyre wear going on to everyone else, but he's doing well in third. He will drop back with a pit stop, slightly out of sync with the rest of the group. Joe Winner right on his tail, can't really fight it too much. It's just inevitable that you're going to lose the position at some point, so you might as well make it as painless as possible really. These two, but Purcell finally backs out, don't want to go side by side through there and risk it too much, so Joe Winner up into third. Nice clean overtake with Purcell allowing that to happen. GTR finally jumps in the pits from first position, and Jambu now inherits first. On to lap 9, and we are nearly 20 minutes into this race, so nearly a third of the race gone. Not too bad so far, not massively exciting close racing, but some good action, as there's been a couple of moments to watch if nothing else. Go a little bit further back, see what's going on. Sean now down into 8th. Checking out everyone's tyre wear as we go through. So Cutler having a bad start to this race, but difficult to do. But Sean just giving way to Graham, as Graham manages to get side by side with him into the bottom of Eau Rouge. No real aggressive defence there from Sean, just letting him through. Dan's way back on these guys now, fortunately. Not got the slipstream to be able to stick with them or catch them up. Close stuff between these two. The fight for 7th position. Graham trying not to give it away while Sean's trying to get it off him as easily and swiftly as possible. Again, the issue is with these kind of things, if you don't get the move done quickly, you're just sacrificing tyre wear. On the other hand, with the slipstream, you're saving fuel, so there's always like a compromise, a pro and a con to every little thing that you do in racing in a way. On one side, yeah, it's better for you, and on the other, it's not. Oh, the different lines he's having to take because he can't see the corners because he's following so closely, and the little issues that end up creeping in because of like I say, following a car so closely, maybe getting caught out on the brakes and ending up turning in slightly differently or whatever, and it ends up causing a few issues if you're not too careful. Purcell and Cutler in the pits. Purcell just leaving now and Cutler just diving in. That'll allow the guys behind, if they're not intending on pitting anytime soon, which looking at the tyres I don't expect them to do so. So Sean, I say that, Graham, what's happened there? Really struggled through the last corner there, did Graham. And Sean up into 6th now, so good work in the end. Paid off for Sean. He's in a good position now as well. He's got fresh enough tyres on to be able to put some good laps in. Half a tank of fuel, so it's looking good. Similar for Cutler, he's in a really good position here. He's on his out lap, so he's just pitted, but he's now got 3/4 of a tank of fuel on and fresh soft tyres, so he's got a long stint he can manage on these tyres now. So compared to the other guys that we flicked through with tyre wear, he's got the opportunity to possibly catch up and overtake those guys as they pit sooner than him, depending on the pace overall generally. Obviously if you're setting slower lap times than the guy in front, then you're never going to catch him. Skipping through and looking for a bit of action. Here we go, Joe Winner and Jambu. That was good timing. Is he going to force the issue? Still plenty of time left in this race. That's what I'm always thinking in an endurance race. You don't want to do anything silly. So easy to chuck it all away. Wisely just follows him through La Source for the 11th time. Gets a little kick of oversteer though, and has to sort it out on the exit and drops back a little bit, which is probably not his intention, because he was probably holding back to follow him through here and get the slipstream and have the chance into the chicane at the end of this long straight. But he's too far back now, so he might have to make it all work again for the next lap. Jambu in front, weaving to try and break the slipstream as well. Don't want Joe to try and to catch him any more than is possible. thank you very much for watching, the people that have joined, and if you're watching this afterwards as well, thank you for watching it back. Feel free to hit that like button if you do enjoy what I'm doing. It always helps out with YouTube. Don't make any difference really, it just helps promote my video to other people a little bit more, that's all. But it's much appreciated. And any comments, you feel free to chuck them in. Tell me that I'm absolutely rubbish at commentary and I can do this, that and the other to get better. Feel free, because I'm always looking to improve in the commentary. And if you fancy insulting my driving as well, you can give me some tips in that regard, then feel free. Don't be too harsh on my driving though. Oh, close stuff from these two. I can't really turn away and check elsewhere at the moment, because I'm so intrigued on what's going to happen. Really good, close battle going on. Good to see different cars as well in the Group 3s with the setup on and the tyre wear and everything, being able to compete against each other. It's not always the case when the championships are run or the races are run without tyre wear and all that stuff. There is certain cars that do become stronger all of a sudden then, but I feel sometimes it is the same with tyre wear as well. There is certain cars that are better than others on tyres, but at the same time you can pick different cars and you can compete. Don't all have to be in the same car. So there we go, eventually Joe gets the move done. He's waited a few laps to do that. Can he keep it though? Braking into the chicane. Does a nice neat job of hooking up the apexes. And Jambu looks a bit defenceless to that in the end. Joe Winner up into first. He was patient there. Took him a few laps of following very closely behind Jambu to get the move done in the end. But it's the right thing to do. Like I say, it's still 33 minutes left of this race, so we're not even halfway through. And now he's got the chance to try and pull the gap on Jambu and just secure this first place. If he can build a big gap, he's definitely got a good position when he comes out of the pits for his next stop then. Because there is another pit stop coming up for all these guys. Like I said earlier, no super soft tyre available, so the soft tyre being the fastest. If you're wondering why no one is on the super soft, that's why. So we've got a low fuel situation from Jambu, and he's going to have to pit this time round on the end of lap 12, because otherwise he's out of fuel and out of the race. GT Gavin will be looking to stop in the next couple of laps, but he'll get the opportunity to get past Jambu here. Jambu dives in as we see Gavin come through the last chicane. Nice and neat and tidy. Again, so easy to lose out there. It doesn't look like a tricky corner because it looks so slow, but it is. And those that know on this game and drive around these tracks will appreciate what I'm saying. It's really easy to get bitten by it. Similar with the first corner as well if you go out wide. Which in other games you can really run that curb, and it's a really good corner for actually carrying a lot more speed than you can in this game, but it's the way it works. Different games, different physics, different penalty systems as well. Oh, Jambu getting challenged by Purcell now. So Jambu gets going as he's just come out of the pits on his out lap, and Purcell just managed to get through with a slipstream. He's got in front, so that won't be good for Jambu's race. If Purcell can manage to defend, let's look at his tyres, not too bad, and he's got a reasonable amount of fuel. So if Purcell can defend here to Jambu, this could really mess up Jambu's race. Jambu has got to try and dispatch Purcell as fast as possible here, and look, he looks like he knows it as well. Otherwise, this is going to ruin Jambu's chance of coming back at Joe Winner later in the race. This is all just going to eat into his time. Purcell being on the slightly more worn tyre, he's still on the soft tyre, but he will be going slightly slower, so if he drives defensively, he will be holding up Jambu. Oh, this could make it quite interesting now. See how Jambu deals with this. Where's Sean? Sean's not in the bloody top 8. What's he doing to me? So Purcell's right on the back of GT-RT now in the BMW Z4. Purcell's on a mission. Oh, he's gone for it. Oh, around the outside, and a big mistake from Purcell. He's off. So, oh, Jambu gets through. What the hell happened there? It's a big mistake from Purcell, went massively wide, and GT-RT just sat in the middle of it all whilst he got overtaken. He's just intending on coming into the pits. He don't want any part of it. As Jambu manages to get through, so I thought Jambu was going to get held up there, and he managed to make it work beautifully in the end. Purcell didn't help himself there though, chucking it off track and going side by side through there. That was a risky one from Purcell, and this time round it didn't pay off for him. So Jambu could have had his race ruined, and he's lost a little bit of time there, but he's now free to try and catch GT Gavin in front. Joe Winner, not that he knows what's going on behind, but that could, I'm not saying it will be, but that could make a difference to Joe's race towards the end of the race. Joe's going to have to come in for tyres soon. These tyres are shocking. Still loving that livery, Joe. Thank you again. I really enjoyed this championship overall, just to give it a little bit of context, not just this race but the whole championship. It's been a bit of a win fest for Jambu, but there's been some really good races, there's been some not so good races, there's been some good action, some terrible moments, and a lot of restarts. So all in all, it's been exactly what you expect from a season, loads of different moments happening, and it's been good overall. A couple of times when there haven't been many people in the lobbies, and it's been pretty hard work commentating on it, if I'm completely honest, but at the same time it always seems to have bounced back in the end, and there's been more people end up joining, so it's only a sign that it is a popular set of races, but some people just don't manage the commitment in the end, where they commit to a championship but they end up, for whatever reason, end up leaving it for one reason or another. Joe Winner in the pits, and we've just seen GT Gavin jump in the pits, so the order's going to change all of a sudden here. Jambu up into first, or is he? Has he managed to get through? No. Are they coming out? Yeah, he has. Jambu's got through, and so's Purcell. There's Joe, so Joe comes out in third. Pits from first place, comes out in third. It's not bad, but he's got his work cut out now with Purcell and Jambu in front to try and regain that first position. Obviously he's just got fresh tyres on there, so he's in a very good position to do that, and he's fuelled, so he don't have to fuel next time by the look of it as well. So it's quite wise, if I do say so. It's either that or you fuel next time and put more fuel on, so it's one way or the other, but you have to pick at which point in the race you're going to do that, and Joe's done it now. Feels comfortable in the car with his rhythm. So we'll quickly go through the order. I haven't done it for ages. Jambu is in first at the moment, we've got Purcell in second, Joe Winner in third, GT-RT, one of our new guys joining us, in fourth, GT Gavin in 5th, NGR Cutler in 6th, Graham Reed in 7th, Sean is in 8th, yay, NGR Danzo is in 9th, and that's everyone. I'll skip through. I didn't really look then, so I do apologise. Skipping through again straight away after doing that, but I didn't really look at the gaps and everything between everyone. So GT, Gavin and Cutler not that far apart. Cutler's on the, oh no, sorry, GT Gavin is on the medium tyre and Cutler's on the worn soft tyre, so Cutler's still gaining that little bit just because Gavin's on the medium tyre. Oh, I say that. Oh no, oh, regain it, yes. Heart in mouth moment there for Cutler. Brown pants moment. As he gets going again. Caught that nicely in the end, but I'm sure that was a bit of panic. I'm not sure exactly in this league who's on the wheel and who's on the pad, but if that was on the wheel, that will have been a hell of a moment to catch. Don't know why I'm watching Purcell's pit stop, but Purcell's in the pits. GT Gavin coming through, so he's come out. Oh no, Purcell's come out just in front of him. Not just in front of him, he's got a nice healthy gap, saying that. 3.5 second gap to GT Gavin behind. So Purcell's away now with fresh tyres. So it keeps changing, does this race. And the guys that have been towards the top, getting the fresher tyres on, trying to make their way back through again. So Joe Winner's doing a good job of that, now back up in second. That's mainly because Purcell pitted, I think. Jambu are race leader at the moment with a 4.7 second gap over Joe Winner in second. It is coming down though, it's not going up, so Joe's definitely on it. And he's catching. Just quite a big gap to catch at the moment, that's all. So everyone driving quite well at this point in the race. It's quite easy to lose concentration in a 1 hour endurance race, because it is, at the end of the day, you sat there for 1 hour concentrating. Apart from your little pit stops, which don't take very long at all, you're concentrating the whole time. So it's a long time, and mistakes do start creeping in, and especially towards the last 10 minutes. I've always noticed in these races. And the longer ones, the race replays that I've done in the past. So Purcell looks like he's on a mission. Let's go on board with him. GTRT going defensive. Purcell on the outside, gives him plenty of room. Looks for the cutback on the second part of the chicane. Gets a reasonable exit. Just needs to stay in his turn out. Doesn't need to challenge into here. Otherwise he's going to lose the chance into the next straight, really. So there we go. Purcell's close enough now to pick up the slipstream all the way down here. Through Eau Rouge, Radion, and then the next long straight, whatever that's called. I'm terrible with track knowledge. Look at the slipstream as well, as the Z4 struggles a little bit more than the BMW of Purcell. Sorry, not BMW, it's the Audi. But looking back, he's not going to challenge and come back in. So Purcell up into third, using the slipstream wisely there. We've seen that from a few guys, and that's the way to overtake basically on this track. Don't bother trying to do it too riskily through the corners, just do it on the long straight, make sure you're close enough, get that slipstream, and away you go. There's not a lot the guy in front can actually do about it, really. And so long as through the rest of that lap, after you've got past, you pull a gap, so the guy doesn't have the chance to do the same back to you on the next time round, then you're all good. That's the aim, really. So Joe closed that 4-second gap right down now to less than a second. Jambu is about to get caught for first position here. Oh, it always looks like there's a big mistake going to happen, but it's actually people diving into the pits. So Jambu going for the pits. It's an odd pit entry. It looks really, really odd when people do it. It does look like they've just had a massive moment, but because they're turning the opposite way, really. So Joe Winner just inherits first place again, and it's just a battle of strategy now till the end. So there's 20 minutes left, and Joe and Jambu are basically still battling away for first position, but it's all mixed up because of the pit stops, and Purcell's somewhere in between. Even though Purcell's in second at the moment, because of the difference in his strategy as well, Purcell's more than likely going to end up conceding to Jambu. A quite interesting race going on at the front throughout this one. Not jumped back and watched too much of the racing going on a bit further back, and I do apologise for that, because I know it's not really fair on certain people not giving a lot of coverage, but at the same time I'm just trying to catch as much action as possible. Don't want to just watch people on their own driving around, basically, because it does get a little bit boring, to be honest. As good as the driving might be, it's always a bit better watching people catch up, and obviously hopefully you appreciate that. So try and skip down the order and give everyone a bit of coverage, but doesn't seem like there's a lot of action going on back there, and there's big gaps between everyone. I will go back now actually, because that gap's developing. We've got GTRT not far behind as well on Jambu, so in 4th chasing him. GT Gavin in 5th, Cutler in 6th, nearly said 5th again then. Graham Reed's in 7th. See what I mean though, it's a big gap. Well, it's between Cutler and Graham Reed's, there's a 53-second gap. Between Cutler and Gavin in front, there's a 24-second gap, so there's massive gaps between these guys. Graham Reed's and Danza, there's an 8-second gap, and then Sean is in 9th now, and he's got a 31-second gap. I'm not sure where it all went wrong for Sean, but it has done, and he's 31 seconds behind Danza. So that's what I mean. It's hard to try and keep covering those guys, because there's not a lot going on really. Whoa. It looked like he was doing the pit move then, but he just did have a little moment of overseer to catch. So Joe Winner's got a really healthy lead now. But again, he's got to try and make it work with the strategy now. He's got that lead. Can he make his tyres and his fuel last to be able to bring the strategy back to him? Otherwise, Jambu's always got the fresher tyres over him. With GTRT. Woohoo! Close one. Again, the curves are really unforgiving on this track compared to other games anyway. So in 4th, currently chasing one of the faster drivers of the championship, Jambu. Just trying to stick in that slipstream. That's an important thing round Spa. It's really important, really. It's pretty much the most important thing on this track. If there's someone in front of you, you've got to stick with them, so you've got the slipstream down the long straights. otherwise you haven't got a chance of catching them up. Well, you have, you've just got to do it at a sheer pace then, which is possible obviously, but at the same time it's a lot harder, and you want to make it as easy as possible at the end of the day. So here we go through the last chicane. Allows Gavin to inherit 4th place now. Pretty fresh tyres as well, so Gavin will be perfectly capable of keeping that 4th position as GTRT will come out. Oh no, who's this? Yeah, so Cutler coming out now. No, I've completely got it wrong. So Gavin's through. Yeah, that's right. Gavin's through up into 4th. GTRT in 5th. I thought someone else were going to get through then, but they obviously didn't. Cutler in 6th. If he gets his binos out, he might be able to spot GTRT in 5th. It's just come out of the pits. So again, we'll jump further up, see what's going on. It seems to be the bulk of the action towards the top. Not a great deal of close stuff, but we'll see. Sorry about the skipping through. Don't forget, this is only my 300th video or something. I'm new to it. Oh, got Purcell catching up a back marker now. So Sean in 9th position getting caught by the guys coming through in the top spots. See what Sean does. I hope he's aware. Seems to be a very competent. Oh, he's gone off on the grass. Oh, he didn't have to do that. Whew, Sean chucking his own race away a little bit there. Purcell getting through easily in the end. Danzo in the pits, just coming out. So Joe winner, nice healthy lead of 14 seconds. Coming through our route for the 21st time. Really consistent race from Joe so far. Lap time wise, if you have a look on the right hand side, very consistent as well. Slowly going up obviously because of the tyre wear, but just got this track nailed and keeps hitting those apexes. I'm starting to wonder, will this race come back to Jambu in the end? There's only 12 minutes left and Joe does need a pit stop, so unless he just carries on, Joe, and just manages the gap, if he's got that kind of a gap, he should just be able to go and carry on, even though his tyres are absolutely gone, and just manage another 10 minutes rather than doing the pit stop. That's what I'd be thinking if I were Joe. 14 seconds is a long time, even if you have got shocking tyres. So yeah, I'm wondering what's going to happen here. Jambu has definitely got the strategy to go to the end. Oh no, he hadn't fueled enough. So interestingly, I hadn't noticed actually earlier, he hadn't really fueled enough, Jambu, to actually be able to go to the ends now. So he's looking for another stop as well. So it's all just going to be in the last little 10 minutes of the race really is what happens here. So Purcell is going to come in this time round, and Joe, they're both nearly out of fuel, so this is Jambu's chance to get through for a few laps before he has to pit right at the end of the race by the look of it. Probably be about 8 minutes left I reckon when Jambu comes into the pits. So Joe in this time round. Oh, Purcell going incredibly deep into the last corner, gets reset to track, so that's not good for Purcell. Oh, big moment there for Purcell. He's looking to get in the pits as well, so he has to pull right across the track in a very interesting angle to get into the pits. seen a few people do that, actually outbrake themselves when they're intending on going into the pits. As soon as you've gone deep on the brakes, you've really messed it up. You need to go easy on the brakes, stick to the right hand side of the apex and then go into the pits. So big mistake there from Purcell. I don't think it'll cost him too badly in the end, but still not good. Let's not dwell on that though. Jambu up into first for now. As Joe Winner comes out of the pits now with fresh tyres, and this is the last 10 minutes of the race. 50 minutes have gone and it's been quite entertaining between these two, if nothing else. GTRT as well as GT Cabining giving us plenty of action at the start as well. So it's been good stuff. I haven't done one of these hour races for a long time. It's been it feels like a long race when I'm not actually racing in it. It feels like a long race when you're in it, I suppose. It can feel like 3 hours sometimes, depending on what track you're on. Just skipping through again. Challenges now. Let's stick with Jambu for a lap or two and just see what kind of lap times he's putting in and see how hard he's pushing, because he will be trying to put in the lap times now to get this race back and try and get this win. Been to and fro between these two guys with a different strategy all the way through the race, so it's going to be interesting to see how it ends. I think it's going to be Joe's in the end, if I'm completely honest, because Jambu's only got a 6-second lead and he's still got to pit, and I think he'll be coming into the pits this time round. Yep, he's out of fuel. So Jambu's mistake here really is caught. Evening Sean, sorry pal, wasn't a rage quit. Nearly pissed me. I know exactly what you mean, Sean. I've been in that situation a few times myself. So Sean needing toilet and he's had to leave the race because of that. It does catch you out when you're in a long race if you're not careful. I end up going twice sometimes before I start the race and qualifying and everything, especially when you've got qualifying, because it can end up being like a 20-minute qualifying session, then an hour. So yeah, if you're not careful you can end up getting caught out. Unlucky Sean. Good of you to join me though, thank you. So, what is going to be the conclusion of this race? Jambu has now come out, but he's got an 11-second gap. This is the story now. He's got 7 minutes to go, and on an 11-second in this race so far, it's been very clean, consistent. Not really seen any massive issues from him, so I can't see him dropping that position anytime soon. So dare say, between the battle, which looks like it's going to be close between them, but in the end it's Joe Winner that's ended up in first towards the end. It's not over yet though, it's not over. There could always be a big moment where Joe ends up off track. Oh, cheers Sean. No problem mate, I've enjoyed some more than others, I won't lie, but it's been good all in all, and you've been one of the guys that's been there every single week, so credit to you. And I was really happy to see, I said it earlier, but obviously you probably weren't listening earlier, I was really happy to see you get a podium in the end last week, and it was really good to see, because I know you've been battling hard to get better through the season against, no offence, but arguably quicker guys in front, and you've done a good job of improving throughout the season, and it were really good to see you get that podium, so well done mate. Anyway, back to this. I think it's pretty much sealed now. Joe Winner's got this one in the bag. But yeah, thank you for joining me, and thank you for the kind comments there, Sean. Appreciate it. What's this we have here? We have a little Purcell action going on. So Purcell's going to get the slipstream all the way down here now. But I'm Yorkshire, you are. I know I am. West Yorkshire. There we go, Purcell using that slipstream to his advantage, as you do. GTRT close though, no, not fighting back into the chicane. It is possible to run it side by side through that chicane, but it is a risky business. So Purcell coming towards the end of the race and still making up positions up into third, and gets his foot on the podium. Now I want to say the flag, but I'm absolutely terrible at flags, and I called them German before, I'm pretty sure they're not. And I can't even remember what, I'm really bad at flags, so I can't remember what the other one is. Is it Dutch? I don't want to insult anyone. But the top three are all from the same country, I can say that with a bit of confidence. I'm really bad at that kind of stuff. It just shows how thick I am when it comes to general knowledge, especially with geography. I don't know why, I've always really struggled with geography. I couldn't tell you where anywhere is in the world other than the obvious. Even though I've been to quite a few places as well, saying that. I've done bad for my travels. Anyway, I don't know why I'm waffling on about, mate. We're coming towards the end now. We've only got, well, it was 3:33 when then I looked. Don't know why, but it's always pleasing as a human to see that. It's like when you're at the petrol station and you always try and round it up. You can't tell me when you look at the clock and it's 12:34 or 22:22. Yeah, you just don't have that little moment of excitement. Or is it just me? So as we come towards the end, there's not a great deal of action as Purcell's pulled a nice gap over GTRT. Now he's got past. Was the closest little bit we had going on, really. Purcell still needs to keep it clean though. He's still there behind him, so there's a couple of seconds between them, but we're setting purple times as Purcell. He's already got the fastest lap with 2:15.834, so he's looking possibly to improve on that. So he's gone again on the exit. Just got a moment of oversteer. Looks like he's managed to spin it round and gets it going again. He's not actually picked up any engine damage, so he shouldn't drop any more positions. But he does need to get it going again without any more concerns, because GT Gavin's not that far behind. But that just allows GTRT to take his first podium possibly as we come towards the end. He needs to keep it clean as well. I shouldn't speak too soon. Commentator's curse, maybe that for Purcell. Oops. But if you believe in that kind of thing. Oh, Danzo leaving the room, unfortunate. He was towards the back, so bit of a shame. Could have finished out the last minute and a half. So GTRT getting an advantage through Purcell's error there. And yeah, like I say, first race with these guys, and he's got himself onto the last step of the podium at the moment. So before we do end, I'll just skip through and briefly give everyone a good 10 seconds or so, see what they're up to. I've been watching the guys at the top for a lot in this race, so give everyone a little bit of credit. Oh, sorry, I haven't seen that message. I'll get to that in a second. There's another bloody thing in the way, one of my messenger things. Great coverage of the 3.5. Oh, thank you very much, Steve. Appreciate that. Do also appreciate a bit of constructive criticism, but no, I always appreciate it. Thank you. Try my best. That's all I can really do. Anyway, I was going through everyone. I got distracted. Purcell in 4th. We've already seen everyone towards the top a lot. GT Gavin in 5th. Give a little bit of coverage towards the end. We're on the last lap now because the time is about to run out. 10 seconds left. Cutler, our host all season. Thank you very much, Cutler, for hosting the races. If you watch this, I certainly appreciate it, because you're the one consistent guy there every single week, ready to host a race, there early for practice for everyone, qualifying and everything else. You do like a restart, I've got to give it you, but other than that, there's no complaints from me. So, as we're now on the final lap, we'll jump on board with Joe Winner and just give him a little bit of credit for having a really good race here and bringing it home in first position, I dare say. He does have a back marker in front of him, it could all go wrong. He's got an 11-second lead, so I doubt he'll go for the overtake, he won't risk it. Graham Reeds, is he going to see him? Oh, it doesn't look like he's aware either. Blue flags everywhere for Graham, so there's no excuses really, but there's no real reason for Joe to overtake other than he wants to set another good lap. But Joe winning in the end. Very good race for Joe. Controlled it well and really good strategy throughout to battle against Jambu really. The strategy battle was going on throughout the race between those two, and it was good to see. GTRT joining us again, I'll remind you again for the first time, and there you go, he's put it on the podium, finishes in third in the end with a really good race. Purcell could have had that position, but 2 laps ago he chucked it away and just had a moment on the exit of a curb, lost the rear end, spun it and dropped back into 4th. GT Gavin in 5th, good job in the end from GT Gavin, another new guy. NGR Cutler, our host, finishing in 6th. And then Graham Reeds has already finished in 7th. So, that's that. Race over. Oh, we've got Sean, which didn't finish in the end, in 8th. God, I need a drink, and I've run out. So, at least I can stop talking quite as much now. Catch my breath for a second. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me if you have done. I really appreciate it. For everyone that joins me, it makes it worth doing. Otherwise, if I was just doing this to myself, then it's kind of pointless. So thank you, it all makes it worthwhile, and thank you for the guys that have raced as well. If you end up watching this, there's no racing that happens without the guys out there racing, so I can't do the commentary, that's what I mean, without anyone out there on the track actually racing away. Anyway, I'll stop waffling on, I've done enough of that tonight. Thank you very much for watching, I'm pretty much going to leave it there, and yeah. That season over, so I'm not sure if there's going to be another season. There's been no mention of it so far, but look out for an update on that. Feel free to join any of the groups that are involved if you're into this kind of thing and you're not sure about getting involved in the racing. You're only going to get better if you're racing against faster guys, if that's what you're worried about and all that kind of thing. Just join these groups. There's Next Gen Racing. There's MRC, which is the Mature Racing Club. More often than not, I will say, these groups are found on Facebook. That's the easiest way to find them. Some of them do have websites, but the easiest way of finding them and joining the group is on Facebook. So we've got Next Gen Racing, MRC, Mature Racing Club. That's the same group, MRC, Mature Racing Club. SIMFX and P1. So go check out all of those groups if you haven't done already, and these are that's the groups that are involved in this anyway. So without much further ado, I'm gonna pretty much shut the doors on this one. The season's over. Oh, he's from Leeds. Sorry, I'll check out the messages before I go. Hi, you're from Leeds. I'm not far away from Leeds. Have you been to that simulator thing? I kind of fancy it, but I managed to go, and obviously with all this corona, it stopped me altogether. Anyway, we can message each other about that. Anyway, take care, see you again soon, and yeah, thanks again for joining and supporting me all season. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done already, hit that like button and feel free to subscribe. That way you'll get to get notifications when I put a new video up, or whatever terrible video I'm putting up at the time. I do absolutely all sorts. There's no consistency to my videos whatsoever. Anyway, take care, bye for now.